Hello and welcome back to a Kooky Corner of YouTube. I have got a finished sketchbook. It's only a small one, but it is finished, and I thought you might like to have a little look through it. I've got my little magpie Womble sticker on here. This one is a crock book, and it is by Claire Fontaine. Now, I believe this one came in a scrawler box quite a while back, but I can't remember exactly when. But I've loved it. The paper in it's really cool, and it's worked with lots of different media. I loved it so much, in fact, that I tried to find one exactly the same size and could not. So what I got was, I've got a replacement for it, which is an A4 size, which is kind of bigger than I can show you in a minute. And even bigger than that, I got an A3 size too, which is obviously double. So this small one, to me, looks as if it is probably, oh no, it's smaller than that. There is another one that's kind of like the double the size of this, which I might have got, but I thought I'd get the A4 because I want to do some bigger pieces. There's only 20 pages, which is like 40 sides. In this one, there's 24 pages, which is 48 sides, but I only ever use one side of this anyway. So, yeah, let's have a little look. So, yeah, it's 160 gram paper, which is really good and cool, and I like it for the things that I've done on it. So, let's have a little closer look. So, orientation this way for now. First page, I was doing something called the Haunted Garden Challenge. I don't think I completed it totally, but I've got a few in here that I did do. So this was this little mushroom guy here, which he's quite cute actually. I really like him. And he's got like a light. You can see that it's got a little. It's like a little lamp mushroom that he's holding that glows. Yeah, I wanted to do him in needle felt. May still do that. May still do that at some point. The next one was this little acorn house guy with a little bog. All of these things I actually wanted to make into stuff that I haven't actually done yet. So it's quite nice to look back through and get re-inspired. It's got a little leaf door handle. So yeah, here's that one. This is like a spooky ghost plant or a spook plant. I like the plant pot, and I really like the faces. They're all different. He looks a bit, it's a bit crazed. That one looks also a bit crazed. But he's just totally out of it, isn't he? Look at him. Then we've got a little doggo's. It's like the pet cemetery. I think that was the prompt for this one. And this was my dog Peppy. He was a toy poodle. And so I decided to immortalize him in a little drawing. It's R.I.P. Peppy, you were a good boy. And he was a good boy, a very good boy. It's a long time ago, but I still remember his little nose and eyes when I got home, and they were pressed up against the glass, and that's how he knew I was there. I could see his tail going as well behind him. Then we got this, I'm really into the mushrooms. We've got this frog guy here who's getting himself some lunch, having a good time, just chilling out, wearing a mushroom for a hat. Why not? This one could have been Hand of Glory. I can't remember. No, maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember the prompts for this actually, but I enjoyed drawing them. It also gives me a chance to draw hands. Hands are not my forte, so I really need to put some effort into hand drawing. I can do it, but I have to spend a long time and then I get bored. True fact. Okay, so now we're going on to more recent times. Rediscovered this book and wanted to just play around in it because it's such a small, not as many pages, it's quite a nice one to feel and feel fulfilled when you finished it. So we've got an owl here. This may or may not become one of my owls for my superb owl book. Who knows? I think I showed this one on Instagram. This one's a little guy with a jumper on. It's quite cozy. Also may or may not become an owl for the superb owl book. And then the rest of this book has mainly been taken up by one, the Pumpkin Parade Challenge, and two, a little workshop I did with Carla Sondheim, so I'll go through that. On the bottom of there, I just put all the little the colours that I'd used in this owl as well. So we've got pumpkins. We had to do a Frankenstein pumpkin. So this is a pumpkin boy who's a little bit green in colour. But he's got little bits of pumpkin orange around him as well. Still, he's patched up a bit there. And he's also got the obligatory bolt through his neck, which I did in a silver. Then we have the witch dolly. This is supposed to be a pumpkin witch dolly. So she's got a little witch hat on. I didn't spend an awful lot of time on this one. I think I was pushed for time, but I did manage to get her down. I think, trying to remember, I think I was in a coffee shop at the time. I was in a coffee shop. Went for a visit to a National Trust property called Colton Fishacre, which, if you know about that, it's like a little house. Well, it's not a little house, it's like a house down south that is owned by the National Trust, and you can go and have a look around. And there were some opera singers in there at the time as well, which was quite cool. But yeah, I went to have myself a coffee in the coffee shop and drew this little pumpkin dolly. The next one was revolting pumpkin mask. So we've got this little pumpkin guy. He's got this gloopy green mask on. Also got himself a tail with a leaf on it. So he's quite proud of himself. He's wearing his mask. He's going for the masquerade ball, obviously. Hasn't got any clothes on. Naked pumpkin. But yeah, it's got like little gold details on his mask. And yeah, I enjoyed doing him. I went to town on the shading for this one because, sometimes you're in the zone, and I was kind of in the zone listening to podcasts, I think I was at the time, and just carried on. This guy is Pumpkin Mobile. Now, it could be taken as a mobile, which hangs up with things hanging off it, but I went for mobile as in a car. And there's this little guy in a pair of overalls. He's riding inside a pumpkin car as well. Is that cannibalism? He's not eating it, no. But he's actually riding inside it. Questions. We have questions. This was another really quick one. I think I did this one as a prompt. No, I did this one as a video for the prompt video that I did. Yes. Let me start that again. I did a video on prompts and why I like them, and I think I drew him on camera. So if you want to go back to that one, you'll be able to see him being drawn. I had a little bit of a problem with the ink not being dry when I added something in, but it kind of adds to the texture. That's what I'm going to say anyway. This one was Pumpkin is allergic to jumpers, so he's wearing his Halloween jumper, but he's really not a fan. It could be that it's wool and he's allergic to wool. It could also be that it's acrylic and it's scratching him. It could be many things. He's just not a fan of jumpers. But every year he drags one out to wear for the pumpkin parade. I quite like his little froggy feet. They kind of look a bit froggy. They're supposed to be like rooty, kind of leafy appendages, which is what I think a person who is a pumpkin also would have as hands and feet. So there's that. Next one was a pump pumpkin. I can't say a punk pumpkin. That is a tongue twister. A punk pumpkin. And he's got his leather jacket on with his studs. He's got chain hanging down. And he's slurping on a very green, gooey drink there. He's got his safety pins through his nose and eyebrow. And a very fetching pair of tartan trousers. I had a pair like that. I'm trying to remember back. I'm sure I did have a pair like that. And also my friend Rat at the time also had a pair like that. I can't even remember what his real name was. We only ever knew him as Rat. So, yeah, he had a pair like that, but they had more orange in it. So like red, orange, and like a black, I think they were. So kind of based the trousers on mine and Rat's trousers and the leather jacket. Because I don't think I had a leather jacket. I went for the mohair jumper look as far as I can remember back in the day. Next one, we have a UFO, a pumpkin patch. He's like driving through the pumpkin patch, but it's also an alien pumpkin. So we've got a pumpkin UFO with an alien pumpkin inside. My fluorescent paint came into its own here to do the ray that's coming out of there, and also for the stars as well. So that was that one. Oh, and then that was it. Now, what we had to do with all of those, I actually put a picture of this up on Instagram. We had to combine them in a pumpkin parade for the last prompt. So literally, I took them into Procreate and just lined them up, and then Procreate's great for that. All of the pictures that I'd drawn then became part of the pumpkin parade. I could put them all together and position them. So yeah, the whole pumpkin parade of that is on my Instagram. So if you want to go and check out the pumpkin parade as a whole, then there's a picture of it up there. Okay, the next few are Carla Sondheim. I did a little workshop with Carla Sondheim as part of a sketchbook revival. I think it's still on at the moment, so if you want to go and check that out. But I really had such a fun time with this. I didn't even realise I was getting towards the end of my book and actually finished it. So let me take you through what I did. Also, kind of explaining Carla's basic around this. It's called a lazy line. So you take a lazy line for a walk on your paper, and then you change your implement at certain points in time. So you'll do a few lines and change it, and then a few more lines and change it. Once you've got a whole load of lines on your page, little, not neurographic at all, but it's kind of like using lines as a basis for finding things. And what you're looking for on these occasions is to have a look into the lines, a bit like cracks on a pavement where you can see shapes in them, or cracks in tiles. If you've ever seen those chicken tiles, if you know, you know, that we had in the UK. I don't know whether you've got them anywhere else, but they used to drive me crazy because you could see a chicken in each tile. And if the chicken had been positioned on its head, it used to, oh. But even if they were all in a row, no, not good. So yeah, thinking about chicken tiles. So these are my first lines that I did, and I found this weird moose creature in the lines. So I outlined him and then added in some media. It's obviously in some tree, woodland area. It's kind of sat there. He's looking a little bit forlorn. He looks like he's lost, and I kind of feel sorry for him. But yeah, he's got kind of like antler things that come up there. And yeah, he's looking a little bit lost and sad. Yeah, he was there. I found him straight away. It's like you look into the lines, you're like looking for shapes and things. And also a bit like clouds, you know, where you look in clouds and you can see something in them. That's what you're doing with this. This guy came pretty much as soon as I saw this. Actually, thought he was going to be some kind of a monster, but it just ended up with a guy with blue hair with a widow's peak. Who knew? Who knew that's what was going to come out? He's wearing a red jumper. He's looking a bit, I don't know, he's not holding anything in his hand, but I don't know. So this was also then coloured in with the Lyra pens that I got for my birthday, and also using some of those tempera paint sticks, which I love. I'm loving them. I used them in all of these. I also used Inktense in some of these as well, Inktense pencils. This was, I think this was a Lyra Pens and Inktense, so I did both. So it's Lyra Pens, Inktense pencil, and a little touch here and there of the tempera paint. What we've got here is a couple of penguin guys and their mouse friend. This looks like Pinky and the Brain in penguin form. So this one's a little evil guy. I don't know why he looks so evil. That's just the way he came out, people. That's the lines I followed, and he looked like a little evil penguin. And this one looks like he's a little bit dopey. He's going, "Oh, what you doing there, boss?" kind of thing. And then the mouse is just looking up into space. I'm not quite sure why the mouse is there. Maybe he's a friend of them, on the lookout. I don't know. There's a story there somewhere. The next one I got was this dog. Also quite a pointy snoot. He's like one of those long-faced doggos. And he arrived pretty soon as well. Yeah, following all the lines around, and then you kind of get the shape of an animal. And yeah, this doggo arrived on my page. This is the, trying to think, is it Inktense? That was Inktense. Then we've got the tempera paints. Then we have some of the Lyra pens. So a little bit of everything going on there. Now I twisted the page around for this one. This came out sideways. This we have got this dragon who sat on his crock of gold here. The face came first, and then gradually I saw the body in the lines. It sometimes comes like that. That one took a little bit longer to find, but he did eventually come out and tell me who he was. So he's a dragon looking on his hoard of gold that he's gathered over the years, bless him. Then we got this little ogre-y kind of girl. I kind of like her a lot. She's got a little horn on her head there. And she's got a bird toy. Is that what ogres like? Do they like toys of birds? I don't know. This one does. And she's got a very fetching green dress on as well. Also a tail. So she's, do you know, they must be pretty good tailors, because they've actually tailored it perfectly for her, this dress. Because where the hole is, a little tail fits through perfectly. I love her underbite as well. It's kind of, and a kind of like a piggy snoot going on there. But yeah, she came as well. You can tell I was having fun, can't you, finishing this book up? Then we got this bird duck guy who's having the best time. He is living his life on this beautiful lake. Living his best life. He looks so proud. He's obviously done something that day that's made him feel proud. So, what have you done today to make you feel proud? Well, we're not sure what you did, guy, but you did something. Then we have this tree lady. I kind of saw the face in there, and I don't know what it was. I think I've been watching a program called Bloodlines, and Sissy Spacek is in it. And she has got that beautiful, like, sloping nose profile, and I adore it. I think she's amazing. I love her. And I don't know, maybe that inspired me a little bit. But then she became this tree lady. She was also wearing a hat. Or maybe that is just like bushes and things, or the bushy leaves that look like a hat on top. And there looks to be like a ladder going around the top of the hat there, and branchy arms. So yeah, she came, and then you're not going to believe what's next. I bet you can't guess in a million years. Go and have a guess. Okay, 3, 2, 1. It's an owl. It's an owl, and he's having a party, and he's got lots of confetti around him. He's also got flames coming up, so Lord only knows what's going on there. He might be at a bonfire party where they just set off a confetti cannon. But yeah, he arrived. He's kind of double-winged, this guy. Don't know why he's got like 2 sets of wings, but you know, that's how he is. We don't have to question him. That's just the way he is. And that was it. Just a selection of pencil swatches on the very last page. I did only use 1 page of this, so probably why I got through it a little quicker than I usually would get through a sketchbook. But yeah, that's it. That is my sketchbook. I hope you've enjoyed having a little look through, and I will be back here very soon with something else. We've got lots coming up in October, but more on that later. I will speak to you pretty soon, so have a great day. Bye for now.